was in is constant, always having to prove myself and defend myself, and I just wanted to stab them so that they can just shoot me. And I remember him sitting across the way, and my friend at the time was sitting there, and a couple of other my friends were sitting in the chairs. And I remember him getting up, and I was 5 days from parole, and I really was trying to avoid getting into a fight. But he gets up and swings on me while I'm sitting down, and I just remember beating the shit out of him because he assaulted me first. And I remember he had my shirt, and it was wrapped around, and he was holding me down, but all I can think about is I'm just going to uppercut his ribs and just break his ribs. And every single time I hit him, like, he came off of the ground. It was just instinct for me, and then I just picked him up and threw him across the way. Like, I just picked up another tee and just threw him. Because I've always been fairly strong, but when I get into a fight, like, I'm overly aggressive. I still got out. These are a couple of the memories that I have here. I remember I tried band. I was in band class with the drums. I don't really like that. But at least I got my diploma here. I learned how to be a little bit sharper. I think this place prepared me for prison.
Yeah.
Because I spent almost 2 years here with people that were just so violent and angry. I mean, there was fights every single day in here. There wasn't a day that didn't go by that the alarm didn't go off. That lockdowns. Lockdowns. We got bologna sandwiches 3 times a day. So you get 2 pieces. You get bologna, 1 piece of bologna, on 2 pieces of bread for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yummy.
You really taste the metal. I don't eat bologna anymore, but you really taste the metal inside bologna after a while.
Yeah.
And it's got
a metallic taste.
Yeah, it's nasty. But welcome to my Preston. Now it's used for Halloween, and it's used for a number of other things. So I wasn't actually locked up in the castle part of Preston, but this is a very famous place. So where I was incarcerated was just a little bit behind it, or if we were to go down this road and come back that way, the entrance would be back there. But it's shut down now. Just like the prison that I was at was literally right next door. But I didn't think at the time when I was here that I'd actually be at the prison next door. And the first time my mom actually came to visit me, she started crying because my sister told me that she thought that I was actually at the prison. But I wasn't. I was actually here. And then fast forward years after that, she ended up coming to visit me at the prison. So that was the last time that I seen my mom.
Prison?
Last time I seen my mom was at that prison right here, before she died. Yeah, she came with my son. That was the last time I seen my son. Before I got out, was at that prison. I didn't see my son a lot when I was in prison. I was too far away. I found out that I was gonna have a son in Tracy. Then I went to Solano. Then from Solano I went to High Desert. Stayed there for 5 years, and I came down here, and that's when I finally got to see my son. But I was already in this midst of a transition. Like, I knew that I wanted more. I just didn't know what. I remember I was gonna kill a correctional officer in this prison for disrespecting me. I remember getting off of the van, and it was raining, and I remember them walking me back to the building I was supposed to be in, and I remember just standing there looking up at the sky, and it was raining on me, and the correctional officers, was trying to tell me to hurry up and get in the building, and I was just like, I just want to stay out here for a little bit longer. That's the first time that my skin has touched rain in 2.5 years, or I was so pale. I was like about as white as that camera. That's how white I was, from just not seeing the sun, from being in a cell for that long, just because we were on lockdown. And when you're on lockdown, you don't get to see the sun. It's interesting what lack of vitamin D does to somebody. like real vitamin D, not supplements, but
So they were disrespecting you by what? Trying to tell you to come back in? Or you're in the ring?
it's just the way that they talk to you. They talk to you offensively. They talk to you condescendingly. They try to bully you. And I just came from a place where that's all I was just so angry, and
Respect is everything.
anything was offensive to me, and I didn't really see the difference between an inmate or a correction officer. You're just a human to me. So I remember going out to the yard and I was going to stab him. Honestly, I was going to stab him in hopes that they would just shoot me. So
Get it over with.
yep, just so that I can end this, just so I can end the agony that I was in, this constant, always having to prove myself and defend myself, and I just wanted to stab them so that they can just shoot me. And I remember mentioning it to a couple of people and walking around the yard with a knife, and I wanted him to get away from the other officer so he can get far enough away. But he didn't, and he just stayed a little bit too close, which means I was going to jeopardize other people that I knew in there, and it was just going to get a little too complicated. And I've never really been like that. And I remember people trying to talk to me about, not doing it, and it was a very interesting experience now that I think about it, for me to voluntarily go out there with armed, wanting to physically take somebody's life, where now I don't want to do that. Now, if anything, I want to encourage and inspire and uplift. And I mean, all the interviews that you've seen, that's pretty much what I want to do. But it's a huge difference between then, in my 20s, because I was like 25, and I'm 44 now.
Yeah.
25, 26, 25 or 26. And now I see some 25 and 26-year-olds, and I think to myself, I wonder if they've ever been into a fight or slapped, or if they've ever had the lunch money taken.
Some have.
And then I look back at, Preston, and I was 16. 16, just so much anger and rage. And at the same time, I still found happiness in here. Like, I found happiness in some form of hell, where some people, they're living in their hell, whether it be a relationship or it be a life circumstance or situation, and they're lost and confused, then they're stuck. And I hear the word a lot now, anxiety or anxious, and I don't understand. I want to understand more what that is, but I don't, because in here, or in prison, if you so much as think about not acting appropriately, it's going to cost you your life. And I'm not saying that's what we have to go through for us to overcome these things that we feel that are paralyzing us, these anxiety or shortcomings that we have, or this fear of us of not being enough or not knowing what to do. But being still isn't constructive. You got to move and be active, and just move in a direction, even if it's a direction that you have no idea that's the right direction. At least it's a direction, and you're not still. So that anxiety that people always talk about, it cripples them, and they're concerned and frustrated. But if you move and act in a manner, it's forward. Forward is progress. So you move in this direction, and you come to find out that it's the wrong direction, you can still move in this direction. You can always move. Beautiful thing about making a decision, if it's a wrong one, just make another decision. The bad thing about not making a decision or succumbing to this anxiety or not knowing what to do is you're stuck and you're not moving. I was stuck and not moving in here, and I was stuck and not moving in prison, and I don't want to be stuck and not moving. And I think a lot of people take life for granted. They have the opportunity to move in a direction, some direction, but just not doing anything, that's not good. As crazy as this may sound, sometimes I feel like I'm fortunate to have gone through all this.
I mean, look at you now, man.
Because having sat through a lot of these interviews, and how touching It is. It's a bit emotional, but I don't think that I'd be the person that I am today if I didn't go through the pain that I went through or the violence that I went through.
Yeah, it kind of propelled you into success and helping a lot of people now.
Yeah.
You just had to go through hell first and not kill yourself and not kill anybody else while you're in there. You could have killed that guard and been stuck in there.
But I definitely didn't kill myself in prison. But yeah, I definitely didn't kill myself.
Glad you didn't, man. Did you ever want to, or just other people?
Never myself, just other people. Yeah, just other people.